Here is The Strangest of Secrets by Earl Nightingale. I'd like to talk to you about the strangest secret in the world. Not too long ago, Albert, a great doctor and Nobel Prize winner, was interviewed in London and was asked, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?" The great doctor remained silent for a moment, then said, "Men simply don't think." And that's what I want to talk to you about. We live in an age of gold, an age that man has longed for, dreamt of, and worked hard for thousands of years. But now that we live in it, we take it for granted. Americans are particularly fortunate to live in the wealthiest land ever, a land full of abundant opportunities for everyone. But you know what happens? Let's take, for example, 100 men at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to them at 65? Out of these 100 men, only one will be wealthy, 4 will be financially independent, 5 will continue working, and the rest will be destitute. They will depend on others to meet their basic needs. Now let's pause for a moment. Out of these 100 men, only 5 will achieve their goal. Why so many failures? What happened to the spark they had at 25? Where have their dreams, hopes, and plans gone? Why is there such a gap between what these men envisioned doing and what they actually accomplished? When we say that only 5% achieve success, we must define success, and here's the definition. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working towards a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, then that man is a success. Otherwise, he's a failure. So, why do we settle? Rollo May, the famous psychiatrist, wrote an incredible book titled Man's Search for Himself. He explains that the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, but conformity. And here lies the problem. It's conformity. People act like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Think, in the United States there are over 40 million people, age 65 or older right now, and 13 million of them are destitute, relying on others to meet their basic needs. We learn to read at 7, to earn a living at 25. But at 65, in the wealthiest country in the world, we haven't learned to be financially independent. Why? Because we settle for what we have. The problem is that we act like the 95% group that doesn't achieve success. Why do these people settle? Actually, they don't know. They think their lives are shaped by external circumstances, by what happened to them. For them, everything is a result of external factors. An inquiry was conducted among several workers, and they were asked the following question: why do you work? Why do you get up in the morning? 19 out of 20 had no idea. If asked, they'll say that everyone goes to work in the morning, and that's why they do it, because everyone does. Returning to our definition of success, who is successful? The only man who progressively reaches a predetermined ideal, the one who says, "I will become this," and starts working to achieve that goal. I'll give you some examples of successful people. The teacher who does what they've always wanted to do, teach. The woman who's committed to being a good wife and mother because it was her dream since childhood. The man who manages the neighborhood gas station because that's what he wanted to do. A successful person is one who deliberately does a predetermined job because that's what they wanted to do, but only 1 out of 20 does it. That's why today the real competition is with oneself. Instead of competing, all we have to do is create the key to success. Well, for 20 years I've tried to find the right formula to predict the future of human beings. Was there a formula that would allow me to know the promises of the future? Was there this key that would undoubtedly lead us to success? Well, this key exists and I found it. Have you ever wondered why so many men work so hard and with so much dedication without getting anything specific, while others don't seem to work much, yet seem to get everything? They have a certain something, a magical touch. You've heard that everything they touch turns into gold. But it's not just about having set goals. Some have them and some don't. People with goals succeed because they know where they are going. Think of a ship setting sail on a carefully planned voyage. The captain and crew know exactly where they're heading and how long it will take. They have a definite goal. 999 times out of 10,000, they'll reach their destination. Now let's take another identical ship to the first, but without a captain or crew. Let's give it neither goal nor destination. Let's just start the engine and let it sail. I think you'll agree with me in saying that As soon as it sets sail, it will sink or end up on some deserted beach. It can't go anywhere because it has neither destination nor guidance. The same goes for a human being, for example, a salesman. There's no one else in the world with a more promising future than a good salesman. Selling is the most rewarding profession in the world if we're good at it and if we know where we're going. All companies need top-level salespeople and reward them handsomely. The sky's the limit for them, but how many of them can find one? Someone once said that the human race is organized not to prevent the strong from winning, but to prevent the weak from losing. The current economy of the United States can be compared to a convoy in wartime. The whole economy slows down to protect its weakest link, just as the convoy does to maintain order. That's why it's so easy to earn a living today. You don't need to be a genius or extremely talented to earn a living and support your family. So we have a plan called security, and it's up to each one to decide at which level of this plan they want to remain. We become what we think. Now let's go back to the strangest secret in the world, the story I wanted to tell you today. Why do men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail? Well, let me tell you something that will immediately change your life. If you understand what I'm about to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same. Suddenly, you'll find that fortune seems to be drawn to you, that what you wanted will happen effortlessly, and from now on you won't have the problems, worries and anxieties you might have experienced. Doubt, fear will be things of the past. Here's the key to success and failure. We become what we think. Let me repeat it. We become what we think. Throughout history, great sages, masters, philosophers, and prophets have disagreed on many topics, but on this precise point, they are entirely and unanimously in agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." Similarly, an Israeli said, "Everything happens if a man learns to wait." After much meditation, I have come to the conviction that a human being with a defined goal will succeed in achieving it, because nothing stands against a committed will, not even existence itself, for the achievement of that goal. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "A man is what he thinks about all day." William James stated, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes." He also emphasized, "We must simply act with confidence as if the thing in question were real, and it will infallibly become real. It will become so well established in our habits and emotions that our interest in it will resemble faith." He further added, "If you only care about one outcome, it's almost certain you'll achieve it. If you wish to be rich, you will become so. If you wish to be educated, you will become so. If you wish to be good, you will become so. But your desire must be sincere and exclusive, not simultaneously desiring another 100 things with the same intensity." The Bible in Mark 9:23 mentions, "Everything is possible for one who believes." Dr. Norman Vincent said, "It is one of the greatest laws in the universe. I wish I had discovered it in my youth alongside my encounter with God. It has been my greatest discovery. This law is short and simple. If you think negatively, you'll get negative results. If you think positively, you'll get positive results." All this can be summarized in 3 words: believe and succeed. William Shakespeare said, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we might often win, for fear of trying." George Bernard Shaw said, "People always blame their circumstances for what they are." I don't believe in circumstances. The people who succeed in this world are the ones who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. It's quite evident that each person who has discovered this has believed for a certain period to be the first to discover it. We become what we think. The power of thought. It's logical that a person with a definite and valid goal in mind will achieve it. This happens because we become what we think. On the other hand, a man without a goal who doesn't know where he's going and whose ideas must therefore be confused, anxious, full of fear and worry, becomes what he thinks. His life is punctuated by anxiety, frustration, and confusion, and if he doesn't think of anything, he becomes nothing. But how does this work? Why do we become what we think? Well, I'll tell you everything we know about this law, and to do that, I propose the following situation. Let's imagine that a farmer has some acres of good fertile land. He can plant whatever he wants. The land doesn't care, it's the farmer who has to make the decision. I ask you to bear in mind that we're comparing the human mind to the land because, like the land, the human mind doesn't care what we plant. It will return what we plant, but it doesn't care what we plant. Now let's suppose the farmer has two seeds in his hand. One is a corn seed, the other is a deadly poison seed. He makes two small holes in the ground and plants both seeds. He covers the holes, waters them, and takes care of the land. What will invariably happen? The land will return what was planted, as it's written in the Bible, "As you sow, so shall you reap." Remember that the land doesn't care. It will return the poison with the same abundance as the corn. So two plants will grow, one of corn and the other of poison. The human mind is much more fertile, incredible, and mysterious than the land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care about what we plant, success, failure, perhaps a valid goal or confusion, fear, anxiety, etc. But what we sow, we reap. The human mind is the last great unexplored continent of the earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return whatever we want to plant. You might say, if that's the case, why don't people use their minds more? The answer to this question is simple. Most people use their minds exactly as they use the land. They plant what they don't want to reap. Success, failure, happiness, unhappiness, wealth, poverty. It all depends on how we use our minds. And like the land, the human mind returns what we plant in it. The conclusion is that we must be aware of our thoughts, our goals, our desires, and our attitudes. We must deliberately plant the seeds of success, joy, prosperity, and peace in our minds. This way, we'll reap these fruits. That's the secret, the key to success and failure. We become what we think. Something. I want you to write on a piece of paper what you want more than anything else. It could be more money. Maybe you want to double your income or earn a specific sum of money. It could be a beautiful house, perhaps complete a project, or have a more united and harmonious family. Each of us knows what we want. Write specifically on your paper what you want. Make sure it is a unique and clearly defined goal. This piece of paper is like your inner compass, your map to your deepest aspirations. You don't have to show it to anyone, but carry it with you so you can see it several times a day. Let it be your constant reminder, your anchor in envisioning what you want to manifest in your life. Think about this with joy in a relaxed and positive way every morning when you wake up, and you will immediately have something to work for, something that will get you out of bed, something to live for. Your goal will become your inner compass, giving you the energy needed to face each day with enthusiasm and determination. Look at it whenever you can throughout the day and before going to bed at night. As you read what is written, remember that we become what we think. Your mind will absorb this goal, integrating it into your deepest being. The more you focus on it, the more tangible it will become in your mind and your world. And as you think about your goal, you will begin to understand that you will achieve it soon. In fact, you start to realize it from the moment you write it down, and your thoughts are constantly focused on it. Every action, every thought aligned with this goal is a further step towards its achievement. Your paper is a talisman of your desires, a catalyst for your dreams. It reminds you that you are the creator of your reality and that your mental and emotional engagement with your aspirations is the key to materializing them. Your goal, written on this paper, is already taking shape in the physical world thanks to the force of your belief and focus. Observe the abundance around you as you go about your daily activities. You have as much right to this abundance as any other living being. It belongs to you. Now, we come to the difficult part. Difficult because it means forming what will probably be a new habit, and new habits are not easily formed. However, once formed, they will follow you for the rest of your life. Stop thinking about what you fear. Every time a thought of fear or negativity comes into your consciousness, replace it with a positive thought for that goal you set for yourself. There will come a time when you will think of giving up. It's easier for a human being to think negatively than positively, and that's why only 5% succeed. You must start now to place yourself in this group. For 30 days, take control of your thoughts. The mind will only think about what you allow it to think about every day during this 30-day experiment. Commit more than usual. Do it knowing that the results impossible, and every step in this direction brings you closer to that reality. Don't forget the paper. It's of vital importance. When you embark on this new lifestyle, write your goal on one side of the paper, whatever it may be, and on the other side write the words from the Sermon on the Mount. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. During your free time in this trial period, read books that can help you. Inspirational books like the Bible, Wake Up and Live by Dorothy Brand, The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and other instructive and inspiring books. Nothing great has ever been achieved without inspiration. Ensure your source of inspiration remains high during these first 30 days, but above all, do not worry. Worry brings fear, and fear is paralyzing. All you have to do is keep the goal in mind at all times. The rest will follow. Don't forget to maintain your calm and joy as well. Don't let the little things distract you or divert you from your path. Now, executing this test is difficult. Some might say, why bother? Well, you have to consider what the other alternative offers you. No one wants to be a failure. No one wants to be mediocre. No one wants a life full of worries, fear, and frustration. Consequently, remember that you will reap what you sow. If you sow negative thoughts, your life will be full of negative things. If you sow positive thoughts, your life will be joyful, fulfilling, and positive. Now, you will progressively forget what you've read in this book. Read it often. Keep reminding yourself what you need to do to form this new habit. Gather your entire family and share with them what you've learned here. Learn to serve others. Most people want to gain wealth without giving in return. The only way to earn money is by providing people with necessary and useful services or products. We exchange our product or service for others' money. Therefore, the law is that our financial return is directly proportional to our service. Success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success, and success is proportional to our service. Most people understand this law in reverse. They believe they're successful if they make a lot of money. The truth is that you can only make money after being successful. It's like the story of the man who sat in front of a stove and said, "Give heat and in return I'll feed you with wood." How many men and women do you know who adopt the same mentality towards life? Millions. We must provide the fuel before hoping for warmth. Similarly, we must serve before hoping for money. Don't worry about money, be useful. Build, work, dream, create, do this, and you'll find there are no limits to the prosperity and abundance that will come toward you. Prosperity is based on a law of mutual exchange. Every person who contributes to prosperity will prosper. Sometimes the return won't come from those you served, but eventually it will, as it's a law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. As you progress through the 30-day trial, remember that your success will be proportional to the quality and quantity of service you offer, and money is a criterion to measure this service. There's an interdependence between giving and receiving, an eternal dance where the balance between the two is crucial. No man can get rich if he doesn't enrich others. This universal law transcends life's boundaries and realms. Each of us, in one way or another, contributes to life's wealth. There are no exceptions to this law. You can drive along any road in the United States and from your car, assess the service the people living on that street provide. Have you ever thought about this measure? It's interesting. Some ministers and priests assess their returns in the spiritual field, but once again their returns are proportional to their service. Every act of generosity, every word of encouragement or inspiration they offer contributes to the inner wealth of those they touch. Once this law is understood, anyone might guess what the future holds for them. If you want more, you must offer more. Life, like a mirror, reflects our attitude towards it. It gives back what we give it. If you seek abundance, wealth, fulfillment, then you must sow these seeds into the world around you. If you want less, simply reduce your service. This is the price to pay for what you want. The universe operates on a delicate balance, an infinite dance between giving and receiving. For every action, there is a reaction. If you choose not to contribute, you might deprive yourself of the fullness life can offer. There's a subtle balance in the universe, giving and receiving in harmony. If you believe you can enrich yourself by impoverishing others, you're wrong. Every act of taking without giving in return disrupts this balance and creates karmic debt. Sooner or later, this debt must be honored. Every act of kindness, every act of service enriches the world and eventually returns to enrich the giver. Don't make the mistake of thinking you can avoid it. It's impossible. The laws governing this universe transcend our selfish desires and egocentric intentions. They are the fundamental pillars of existence, remembering that true wealth comes from sincere contribution and commitment to collective well-being. By sowing goodness and generosity, we reap prosperity and abundance, thereby aligning our lives with the harmonious flow of the universe. Prisons are full of people who tried to create new laws just for themselves. These individuals attempted to circumvent established rules, believing they could escape the consequences of their actions. However, we might eventually evade the laws of men, but there are larger, more universal laws that cannot be bypassed, these transcendent laws far beyond. Our attempts at manipulation or evasion are the laws of the universe. Respect them and act in harmony with them, because they are ultimately the very foundations of existence and universal balance. These laws are like invisible guiding lines that regulate every aspect of our reality. They're the essence of morality, fairness, responsibility, and even spirituality. Regardless of our will or desire, we are all subject to these universal laws. These fundamental principles underlie everything that exists. They transcend our individual ambitions, our personal desires, and our ideas of power. They are the pillars on which reality itself is based, far beyond our fleeting aspirations. When we live in harmony with these laws, we are aligned with the natural flow of the universe. We merge into the harmony of existence, recognizing that every action, every choice, has an impact far beyond our simple perception. We become aware that our thoughts, words, and actions weave the very fabric of our lives, influencing not only our reality, but also the world around us. By following these universal laws, we free ourselves from the bonds of selfishness and individualism. We realize that our existence is in symbiosis with the whole, and our actions resonate throughout the universe. Embracing these principles, we access a higher state of consciousness, where compassion, responsibility, and wisdom guide our steps. Thus, by living according to these universal laws, we discover the true meaning of our existence. We understand that our place in the universe is interconnected, that our choices and actions have an impact far beyond our immediate understanding. By respecting these laws, we contribute to the balance and harmony of everything, thereby participating in the creation of a fairer, more compassionate and more enlightened world. Understanding and respecting these immutable laws, we find balance, a deep connection with the cosmos around us. We align ourselves with universal energies, feeling the pulsation of every atom, the dance of the stars, and the infinite symphony of existence. It's by living in harmony with these laws that we discover true fulfillment. We embrace the unity of everything, perceiving each element as an essential piece of an infinitely complex cosmic picture. We merge into the fabric of reality, becoming aware of our place in this vast and interconnected world. By following these fundamental principles, we become conscious participants in the grand ballet of existence. We sense the symphony of life, knowing that our actions, even the smallest, resonate through the rivers of time and space. It's in this harmony that we find fulfillment of our entire being. We realize that true wealth resides in understanding, compassion, and universal love. Merging into this understanding, we discover inner peace and serenity, realizing that our existence is deeply rooted in the balance and interconnectedness of all that is. Dr. David Harold recently highlighted 6 steps that will help you achieve success. Set a concrete goal and stop sabotaging yourself. Stop thinking of all the reasons why you can't succeed, and instead focus on all the reasons why you can succeed. Revisiting my attitudes back to childhood is an introspective exercise that requires delving deeply into memories and past experiences. It's a journey into the past, exploring the roots of certain beliefs or ideas that might have influenced my perception of myself and my abilities. Going back to my childhood, I recall moments when my early experiences might have contributed to shaping my beliefs about success and failure. Perhaps comments, attitudes, or lived situations sowed seeds of uncertainty or limitation. It's possible that situations in which I faced difficulties or failures, combined with comments or reactions from the surrounding environment, fueled the idea that I couldn't succeed in certain fields. These experiences, even if seemingly insignificant or occasional, might have left lasting traces in my perception of myself and my capabilities, maybe comparisons with other children, external expectations, or social norms contributed to shaping the idea that I couldn't succeed in certain ways. These external influences might have played a role in forming my own limiting thoughts about my abilities and possibilities. It's crucial to recognize these past experiences to better understand the origin of certain limiting beliefs. However, it's also important to realize that our perceptions and beliefs can evolve and transform over time as we gain new experiences, maturity, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. By becoming aware of these past influences, I can consciously choose to reassess and reshape my beliefs about my abilities and possibilities. I can work to replace limiting thoughts with more positive and encouraging thoughts, thus strengthening my confidence in myself and my potential to succeed in different areas of my life. Changing self-image is a deep and transformative inner journey. To undertake this change, it's essential to begin with a written description of the person one aspires to become. I see myself as a person full of confidence and determination, someone who faces every challenge with courage and resilience. I am rich in positive energy, with an optimistic attitude that brightens every interaction. My inner strength is balanced by great empathy and unconditional compassion towards others. I'm also creative, constantly exploring new horizons, pushing the limits of my understanding and skills. I am passionate about continuous learning, thirsty for new knowledge, and always open to new perspectives and ideas. In my relationships, I am a source of support and inspiration. I create a warm and safe environment where others feel valued and listened to. My presence means active listening, deep understanding, and sincere encouragement. I am also an integral person, honoring my values and acting with integrity in every situation. My commitment to ethics and morality guides every decision, allowing me to be a model of authenticity and honesty for others. By cultivating this self-image, I actively commit to becoming the best version of myself every day. I choose to focus on my strengths, cultivate personal growth, and persevere in the face of challenges, knowing that this vision of myself will become a reality as I tread this path of personal transformation. Act as the successful person you've decided to become. Do what all the experts from ancient times have told you to do. Pay the necessary price to become the person you want to be. Take the 30-day trial, then repeat it, and repeat it again. Over time, this will become a part of you, and you'll even wonder how you could have lived for so long without this knowledge. Live in this new way, and the doors of abundance will open and pour onto you more wealth than you could have ever dreamed of. Yes, money, lots of it, but most importantly, you will have peace. You'll be in that wonderful minority that leads a peaceful, joyful, and successful life. Start today. You have nothing to lose, but you have a life to gain. Thank you very much for your visit.